If you have arthritis pain, you might think exercise is the thing that causes your joints to hurt. But for many people, the exact opposite is true. Sometimes it's the lack of movement that makes arthritis feel even worse. So, how do you start exercising when your knees hurt, your hips hurt, your back hurts, and just getting through the grocery store feels like a workout? Oh, and if you're carrying extra weight on top of this arthritis, I know it can feel overwhelming. You want to exercise, you know exercise would probably help, but when your joints already hurt, getting started can feel impossible. You've probably heard completely different advice from different people. One person says you need to rest. Another one says just push through the pain. And then you're left wondering, what am I actually supposed to do? The good news is that arthritis doesn't automatically mean your fitness journey is over. I'm going to show you how to start exercising with arthritis, what type of movements tend to work best, and the biggest mistake I see beginners make that often causes them to lose even more mobility over time. One of the biggest myths about arthritis is that pain automatically means you should stop moving completely. Now, before we go any further, always follow the advice of your doctor or healthcare provider. Every situation is different. But for many people with arthritis, gentle movement is actually one of the best things they can do. Think about a door hinge. If that door never moves, it gets stiff. The more it sits there, the harder it becomes to open. Our joints can be very similar. Movement helps keep joints functioning, improve circulation, and helps maintain the muscles that support these joints. And that's an important point. The goal isn't to become a bodybuilder. The goal isn't to train for a marathon. The goal is to stay functional, to walk easier, to get out of the chair easier, to carry groceries easier, to keep doing the things that matter most in your everyday life. Because fitness isn't just about looking different, it's about living better. Now, pay attention to this next part because this is very important. Stop trying to exercise like everyone else. This is where I see a lot of beginners get frustrated. They decide they want to get healthier, so they go online looking for workout ideas. And then suddenly they're watching some fitness influencer doing jump squats while balancing on a yoga ball, juggling kettlebells, and apparently training for American Ninja. Meanwhile, you're just trying to get off the couch without making sound effects. And that's okay. Because fitness isn't about doing what everybody else can do, it's finding out about what you can do. If regular squats hurt, switch over to chair squats. If push-ups hurt, try some wall push-ups. If running hurts too much, switch over to walking. And if standing too long for anything hurts, try some seated exercises. There's a ton of them out there. The biggest mistake people make is assuming that because they can't do everything, they shouldn't do anything. That's backwards. The best workout isn't the hardest workout. The best workout is the one you'll actually repeat. And when arthritis is involved, consistency matters far more than intensity. Here's where people get confused. How do you know the difference between normal discomfort and pain that means you should stop? Those aren't always the same thing. One tool many people find helpful is using a simple pain scale. 0 means no pain. 10 means unbearable pain. For many people with arthritis, mild discomfort in the lower range may be manageable during activity. But if pain starts becoming more moderate, continues increasing, or doesn't improve afterwards, that's often a sign to slow down, modify the movement, or stop and reassess. Again, remember, this isn't medical advice. It's simply a practical way to pay attention to what your body is telling you. The bigger lesson here is avoiding the all or nothing mindset, because that's where a lot of people get stuck. They think, if I can't walk for 30 minutes, there's no point. Well, who made 30 minutes the magic number? Maybe today is 15 minutes. Maybe it's 10. Maybe it's only one trip around the block, which only lasts 5 minutes. That is still movement, and that is still progress. And progress always counts. Here's something many beginners don't realize. The stronger your muscles become, the more support your joints have. Think of your muscles like a support system. When your legs get stronger, your knees don't have to absorb all the work. When your core gets stronger, your back gets more support. When your body moves more efficiently, everyday life becomes easier. That's why I encourage beginners to focus less on burning calories and more on building capability. And here's the part almost nobody talks about. The people who successfully exercise with arthritis usually aren't doing better workouts. They're using a completely different mindset. And that mindset might be the most important thing we're discussing today. The people who make the most progress with arthritis aren't usually the people doing extreme workouts. They're the people who keep showing up. They move on good days, they move on bad days. They adjust when needed, they modify when needed. They take a slower pace when needed, but they don't quit. Why? Because fitness isn't about having perfect joints. It's not about having the perfect body. It's not about having perfect circumstances. It's about making the best of the body you have today. Some days that might be a walk, some days it might be chair exercises, and some days it might just be stretching around the house. And that is completely okay, because consistency creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence, and confidence creates lasting change. You don't need to win the fitness game today. You just need to keep showing up long enough to stay in it. If you're a fitness beginner who wants realistic fitness advice without the fitness industry nonsense, come subscribe with me and maybe share this with somebody you really care about. I like to share practical strategies designed to help real people build real consistency. And if you're looking for a simple step-by-step plan focused on consistency instead of perfection, check out the links I have down below. Remember, start where you are, do what you can, and keep showing up.